So I can kind of build off of this idea with using the preprocessor directives to define what's called a macro, and this could help me with debugging. So let me show you what I mean by this. I'm gonna type it first, and then we're gonna go through it. So I'll say here define, and I'll say debug, and this is going to be like a preprocessor function. Okay, they're called. You can also find them as called macros. So this is the argument x. Note that how I'm not specifying any types here. I'm not specifying what this is. It just, for right now, it's just a symbol. And then remember, they'll just get replaced later because it's a preprocessor. And then I'll say here, okay, I'm going to define this macro as, I'll say printf, and then I'll say calling function, say %s for a string. And then there's this cool thing you can do with macros. If I put a hashtag in front of the symbol that I have here, that will give me the name of the symbol that's been passed in. All right, you'll see what we mean in a second. So we did that. So I'm going to go ahead and all I'm doing is any symbol that I pass here, I'm going to say calling function or calling symbol, calling function, and then I'll print. So right now I'm just going to say calling function, I'll print the name, and then when I'm done with printing it, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually execute the symbol. I call it symbol because you'll see in a second what I mean. All right, and then I'm going to define another macro, another symbol right here. Else I'll say define debug on, and I'll say debug on as 1. So right now I want to turn my debug on to debug. All right, and then here's what I'll say. I'll change this here from Mac build to say if debug on. All right, and then we'll do something else here. And I'll say debug. So I'm going to use this macro here. I'm going to say I don't know. I'm just going to write some function here. We'll say debug, and I'll say printf hello. Okay, just to illustrate the idea. And if the debug, we'll say hello. If the debug is not on, then I'll just say printf hello. So what is the purpose of this? Well, I can have like a flag in my program where if I want to debug some code, right, if some critical piece or any code, I will enclose my code that I want to run, my function that I want to run within the debug macro here. So otherwise I'm not going to enclose it in the debug macro. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this and run it. So first I'm going to run this through a preprocessor to see what the result will be. So I'll say cpp slist.c. Did I save the file? Because here it says just printf hello. Let me go ahead and save it again and try this again. Interesting. It just says hello where we should have printed out. We should have printed out as calling function because the debug flag is on. Let me try something else. Try to debug this. What if we'll just comment this out. Oops. I'm just gonna call the macro directly for now, just to make sure that it works, and then we can play with the other code. So I'll just say here debug, and I'll say printf hi. Okay, let's try that. Try this again. Okay, so good. Our macro got ran. You see, I don't know if you can. Let me bring this up a little bit so you can see what it got replaced. It says printf calling function, and then you see how this got into the string. It's pretty neat. And then I ran the function. So this is my symbol here. This is the x. That's the x. See how we got ran? And then this is the symbol. I just told you we get the name of the symbol, whatever is the literal value of whatever was passed in. And that's what the code got replaced with. So what I'm confused now is why is my debug here not working? That wasn't my my point. What I was trying to illustrate to you was that the cool nature of this. So let's go ahead and actually run it and not just preprocess it. So I'll say clang slist.c, and I'm going to go ahead and run it. And it says calling function hi, and then calling function printf hi, and then it says hi because we ran the function. Let me try to see what's going on with this. Why it wasn't getting in the, because debug on is a 1, so we should technically go inside of here and you know, execute this function here. Let me save this again. Oh God, I see what's wrong. Debug. It's French for debug. All right, so we don't want the French version of debug. We want if anybody's French, I'm sorry. This sounds kind of French though. I'm not gonna lie. All right, debug. That was a joke, guys. I don't know if you're laughing or not because I can't see you. Let's try this again. Clear, clang, and we'll do, let's see here, slist.c. Let's go ahead and run it. Calling function, perfect. So if I look at the CPP, slist.c, perfect. So we got it working. I had it misspelled here. It's funny how we didn't get an error with the preprocessor, right? Because the preprocessor is not a compiler. It's just like it replaces strings. It kind of parses strings and such. So it couldn't find this symbol, so it didn't complain. It just went on. Okay.